What up, world? This your girl Sade with Sade Speaks, and I'm back at it with another episode. Hope you guys are staying dry and being safe in this weather. It's getting real around here. I know it's to put all these tornadoes, but they are definitely rampant, especially in Florida. But I just want to hop on here real quick and just holler at you guys about being hopeless. When I was a little girl, I don't know the artist's name. It was a song called "Hopeless," and the chorus is like, "They say I'm hopeless, like a penny with a hole in it." And I don't know, I don't know why this song still stick with me. Like I have not listened to it in forever, but last week I was feeling a little bit of hopeless, and as I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about, my spirit just kept putting that song on my spirit, "Hopeless, like a penny with a hole in it." I remember when I was a kid, I'm just like, how can a penny have a hole in it? But then I realized, of course, as I got older and more mature, that it's a metaphor. Metaphor meaning like I have nothing. Like, I feel useless. Like, what am I here for? I have nothing to offer. I'm hopeless. I don't have anything. And, in life, you know, um, sometimes we tend to feel that way when things are not going our way or when things are looking rough. We tend to have this attitude like, we begin to feel hopeless, especially when life begins to lifen. Like they say, when life is lifing, things gets very uncomfortable. And in that uncomfortability, sometimes we may feel a little hopeless. And honestly, when we begin to feel hopeless, we do one of two things. We either question God or we doubt God. I have been guilty of both. But my question is, what is the end game when one is in this state of mind? Like, how can one can even cope with these circumstances? I think of Naomi from the book of Ruth. Ruth is one of my favorite books in the Bible. It is so much meat in it. There's so many lessons in it. Like, oh, y'all got to read it. But Naomi was Ruth's mother-in-law, and at one point in life, I feel like Naomi was hopeless before she turned bitter. And why I say hopeless because uh, in her culture, what made you have some type of status, I guess, was a woman who had a husband and who had sons. Like that was really big in Naomi's culture. And when she lost all of that, at one point, I feel, in my opinion, she began to feel a little hopeless, and then it turned into bitterness. Um, And this type of discouragement breeds loss of hope, which can bring about intense efforts to change the situation on one's own, or it can be passive and lead to mental, spiritual, you know, some type of depression, if you ask me. Naomi coped with these challenges, and I know she coped with it because she urged her after her husband died, after her sons died. She told her daughters, like, "Hey, y'all get around me. Like, this is how I'm feeling. I don't even want you around me. Go back home. I have nothing else to offer you. I have nothing. I have nothing to offer you. My sons are dead. I'm old. It's not like I can have any more kids so you guys can marry someone else. But you're still young. You still have your fertility. Go off." One of those daughter-in-laws like, all right, I'm gonna clear it because she can't offer me nothing. But Ruth, on the other hand, she stood out. Ruth was loyal, and Ruth really took her position as her daughter-in-law seriously. Through Ruth, Naomi was able to gain her hope again. Through Ruth, Naomi bitterness kind of like disappeared in a sense, because Ruth showed her love. Ruth had lost her husband too, but Ruth was still young. However, Ruth didn't focus on the things that she lost. She more so focused on God. And she helped Naomi shift her perspective. She helped Naomi shift her mindset. Instead of looking at everything that's going wrong, Naomi, I'm going to show you how to focus on love, or how to focus on God, or how to focus on everything that's going right. Yes, you lost your husband. Yes, you lost your sons, but you got a loyal daughter-in-law who's still willing to stay here around you and continue to show you love in the midst of your hopeness, in the midst of your bitterness. Naomi was encouraged by Ruth's love and committed to her as family, as a mother-in-law. Naomi learned that the meaning of family wasn't just members of your household that you share the same DNA with. Ruth showed her that their relationship was valuable because of love. It wasn't just about what Naomi had to offer her. Like I said, Ruth lost her husband too, just like Naomi did. But Ruth was still young. She had a fertility. She was able to go out and have more kids, but that still didn't stop her from loving Naomi. I could see why Naomi would feel hopeless, like a penny in a hole with it, because she lost the very thing that gave her status, or the very thing that weighed value during that time in her culture. But I will say Ruth changed Naomi's end game. One would say, when you feel hopeless, some people, they sit in it, they swaddle in it, and their end game is depression, or I'm just through with life, or I'm gonna walk away from God because I'm not feeling this. That would be some end game. But but Naomi end game changed because Ruth showed her love. She gave her hope again. And I know that Naomi had hope again because she put her daughter-in-law in position. She put her in position to get another husband. She put her in position to have wealth. She put her in position to have value. And that just shows that she stopped focusing on her drama, on her misery, or on her business, or on the things that she didn't have. She stopped focusing on that and she started focusing on God. And she focused on God with the help of Ruth. So what am I trying to say today? I'm pretty much saying that when you begin to feel hopeless, like I felt last week, you got to shift your mindset. You got to stop focusing on the things that are not going right and focusing on things that are going. Stop focusing on things that are going wrong and focus on things that are going right. Focus on the things that God continue to bless with. Focus on the things that you know that sometimes we take for granted. Like we really take for granted that we have a job. We really take for granted we have somewhere to stay. We really take for granted that we have all our necessities. Like we have food, we have shelter, we have clothing, we have God provides for us. You know what I'm saying? We get so caught up in focusing on the provided instead of the provider. And when you stop focusing on the provider, sometimes you fall into this hopelessness like a penny with a hole in it. Like, I don't know, Lord, why I'm here. I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to be here. You get stuck in that mindset. You get stuck in all the things that are going wrong. And honestly, that's what the enemy wants you to do. He doesn't want you to have faith. That's what he attacks you. He doesn't want you to believe in God. He doesn't want you to feel like this is not it for me. My end game is God gonna do everything He promised me that He said He was gonna do. He don't want you to feel that way. He wants you to stay in that depression mindset, or He wants you to stay in that mindset where I'm hopeless. I don't look forward to nothing because I don't see it coming. That's what He wants you to do. I'm here to tell you, or here to encourage you to shift out of that mindset. I was there last week, very frustrated with life last week, because life is life. Like, it's real out here. Things are changing. This world is getting crazier. Things are high. But I had to stop in my tracks and I had to check myself. I had to be thankful that no matter what is going wrong around me, I still have all my necessities. I still lack nothing. I lack no food. I lack no clothes. I lack no shelter. I lack no love. I have people in my life who love me, people in my life who encourage me, and God still provides for me. So if you take nothing else from this podcast today, just know, stop focusing on the the blessings and the things that come with life, and focus on the provider, and watch how your mindset shifts. Watch how you go from feeling hopeless like a penny in a hole in it to I'm feeling I have hope. I have faith. I know that everything is going to be all right. I hope this bless y'all. Thank you for continuing to rock with me. I love y'all, and I am out. I will see you.